Well, it certainly has been a while since I dropped a lore video, but I believe it's time to get back to exploring the adventure we've had within this game. So let's get right to it and talk about episode 6. Beginning the episode, the group is now on their way to Whispering Corridor to stop Scummer from grabbing the last module. The Whispering Corridor is a ruin full of many different relics. Many, including Lumopolis and a number of criminals, try to get as much as they can from this place. That is until a certain group came in and took full control of the corridor, the Isvan gang, who is led by Isvan, otherwise known as a Saddle Lord. Now before I talk about Isvan, I first gotta mention the city he runs, Umberton. Umberton is a city that's located right under Lumopolis. You can even consider this place to be the polar opposite. Where Lumopolis is a place ruled by nobles, Umberton is a place ruled by a number of gangs and guilds, where it's pretty straightforward. The more money and information you hold, the more on top of the hierarchy you are. At the beginning, Umberton was considered nothing but the slums of Lumopolis, but that all changed when Isvan and his group took over. As I mentioned, Isvan is the leader and ruler of Lumopolis, with an influence that spreads all over the city. There's nothing that happens with him that goes unnoticed to him. There are a number of gangs that runs around in Umberton, but it's his gang that keeps everything in check, as well as have a hand in having the biggest information guild within Umberton and keeps a close relationship with Lumopolis, a very powerful figure within the continent of Astra. While the group was making their way to the Whispering Corridor, Vice mentioned that Illumina held another meeting in the meantime, as it seemed the Grand Marshal has ordered folks to be on standby. In the meantime, Vivian and Sirona will help in defending the suburbs in Lumopolis. As that happened, Colleen communicated with her father to send backup to where they are, but he ended up denying the request, leaving just Navigator, Vice, and Colleen to explore the Whispering Corridor by themselves. As they reached the area where the ruin is at, Vice activated a device that goes underground. Knowing Scummer is down there, they proceeded to enter. As they did, before figuring out how to explore the underground ruin, an Umberton resident named Ciel appears before them. She was sent by Isvan to help guide them and prevent them from getting lost within the ruin. But she wasn't going to go too deep with them, as she'll keep in remote contact with them, seeming as she isn't the fighting type herself. And so the group heads further in. While the team was exploring, we go back to Illumina where we see Saran, looking to meet with the officers to discuss about the damages done to Undercity 28. Philside told him that they had already left and how Navigator and his group went to the Whispering Corridor. While they were talking, we go back to where Navigator was. As they were walking, they happened to come across some footprints. With Colleen's impressive calculative skills, she was able to determine that they belonged to Gertrude, thinking he's probably here to exact his revenge on them for killing Shelt. The scene changes where Gertrude and Scummer were together. Knowing Navigator and the others were inside the Whispering Corridor as well, Scummer was instigating Gertrude, who was still devastated by Shelt's death, and was fully committed to wanting to kill Navigator. After more exploring, the group is finally face to face with Gertrude, who had an ambush ready for us before coming out himself. Continuing to blame Navigator for the death of Shelt, his anger was overwhelming him, to the point where he started to transform with the power of the eclipse. Having the group prepared to engage in battle with the newly formed Gertrude, once the group won, Gertrude was ready to accept his death, but asked what happened during Shelt's final moments. They explained to him everything that happened, between their fight against the sisters and how a mysterious force caused them to merge, forcing Navigator's group to kill them in order to stop their suffering. Then Navigator mentioned Shelt's last words being about dandelions. This was a huge mental shock for Gertrude, as he started to remember the past about how much Shelt wanted the two of them to get away from everything. Then the pieces started to come together for him, realizing the true culprit was the mysterious figure that we often see. Once he fully understood what happened, Gertrude agreed to take the group to where Scummer was. On the way there, Gertrude was telling them about his past, talking about how he ranked up in the army and meeting Shelt while married. But Colleen couldn't listen and interrupted him, shaming him for all the disagreeable actions that he's taken. Gertrude didn't care though. The only thing that mattered to him was Shelt. With a change of scenes, we see Scummer communicating with the mysterious figure, knowing that Gertrude is still alive and is leading Navigator's group towards her. As Scummer was looking for the flame control module, the mysterious one sent an extra help to assist her, which happens to be Nozar, waiting for their arrival. Going through a secret door, the group finally finds themselves confronting Scummer, demeaning Gertrude for being weak and pathetic, being as cruel as we last saw her. Gertrude demanding for answers, Scummer admitted to being involved with the merging of Shelt and Sire. Tired of talking, she sent out an attack that was coming towards Colleen, but Gertrude steps in to save her and takes on the attack, receiving a fatal blow. In his dying moment, he begged Colleen to kill Scummer no matter what, before finally taking his last breath. Right before Scummer was going to engage in battle with the Navigator and his group, the mysterious one contacted her, telling Scummer to hurry up as there was an Illumina army heading to where they are. Regrettably, Scummer decided to leave as he already had the flame control module in her possession. As Navigator's group attempted to stop her, they were suddenly confronted by a revived Nozar, who seemed more powerful than when they last saw him. With no choice, they were forced to engage in battle with the undead Nozar. After defeating it, Carlene took the time to cremate Gertrude as a safety precaution to prevent his body from being revived. While trying to figure out Scummer's current position, the group gets greeted by Charon. Apparently, he faked the appearance of an Illumina force as they were unable to give Navigator's group proper reinforcement. And now they have to catch up and stop Scummer, who now has all 3 modules and was making her way to Lumopolis. And that's it for episode 6. Stakes are getting high and lives are being lost. Was pretty much a more cruel episode than previous, and now the group has to face against Scummer and her much more powerful Black Colossus. Situation continues to get worse and worse for our characters. Ending the video here. Hopefully I won't get caught up in too many delays in the upcoming future, as I still plan on uploading more Alchemy Stars content whenever I can. So stay tuned for when I cover episode 7 on this amazing story. May the truth bless you.